Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Friday, August 30th, 2019. If you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/Otaku Showboat to leave a follow and turn on notifications to be reminded when I go live, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. You can follow me on Twitter at Otaku Showboat, as well as visit my website at otakushowboat.com. Before we get into Factorio today, the question of the day is, what was your first ever video game that you have played? What was the first that you can remember playing? For me, I think it was Super Mario World. I think. I'm pretty sure that it must have been Super Mario World. Because that was the first video game console that my parents had ever bought, was the Super Nintendo, and they had Super Mario World with it, in which I began playing that at age 2. I was 2, and I was better at it than both my parents. Yeah. So that was the first game I ever played. At that time, they had also gotten things like Super Castlevania 4. I think that was what, 90 what? What year was that? I forget, but we eventually did have Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, TNN, Bass, Tournament of Champions. Between that and Super Mario World, that was like my early childhood, was just those 4 games in particular. And that grew later on, much later on. But yeah, that was like the early childhood, was Super Mario World, Super Castlevania 4, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and TNN Bass Tournament of Champions. The only one I actually beat in my childhood of all 4 of those games was Super Mario World. I think to date, I haven't actually completed a game of Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I've made it through the first cycle, but I've never gotten through the second cycle with the item you need to actually finish the game. I don't think I've ever done that yet. And for Super Castlevania 4, I would always, without fail, get stuck on the last auto-scroller screen that kills you if you're not fast enough in level B, with the saw blade that follows you up a vertical platforming section. I could never get through that. I've done it since, though, and I've completed the game since, but through my childhood, never able to get through that part. And then TNN Bass Tournament of Champions, I think I just never had the patience to really get through it as a kid, younger kid. But I have played through and beaten that as well. I've got the kitty next to me who is relaxing very comfortably and sleeping. So one other thing I want to discuss, well, technically 2 other things. One relates to Factorio, and we'll talk about that once I do start up the game. So yesterday, I talked a bit about how I now have 600 subscribers, over 600 subscribers. In fact, since then, I've gotten another subscriber, so we're at 603 now. Yay. And I was talking about how at 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to actually start monetizing the videos. And part of me had this hope that surely YouTube would only allow you to monetize your videos if you had any chance of, at some point soon, being able to earn enough from it to actually see the payout. Yeah, turns out I was wrong. So I did some very, very rough estimates, and as it turns out, for my channel, extrapolating the amount of views that I'll have by the time I have 1,000 subscribers, the approximate monthly income would be less than $5. Monthly income. Less than $5 through the YouTube ad monetization. Let's just say $5 because it's actually quite variable, lower and higher, based off of views and impressions and all of that. So less, like $5, let's just say. For reference, Google AdSense, because this all goes through Google AdSense, pays out at $100. It only actually pays you once you cross $100. So, yeah, 20 months to get a single payout at the minimum level to get monetization on YouTube, to even have that as a thing. And we're going to assume that that's after YouTube takes their cut, rather than before YouTube takes their cut, because that would just be even more depressing. Let's just say that it's $5 after YouTube's cut per month. And before anyone suggests, hey, join a multi-content network or multi-channel network, been there, done that. For reference, YouTube will still take their cut, and then you have to pay an additional percentage to your network to get nothing. You get nothing, actually, out of network. They say that they're there to help to promote your videos. They're not. Like, seriously, they're there to make money off of you, not to help you make more money. They really don't care, overall. I need all the coffee in me today, I swear. So, yeah, I'm thinking that yes, I will celebrate. I will absolutely celebrate the day that I can start monetizing the videos, because that means if I can just count on $5 a month, that's $5 more per month than I had before. That's how I have to look at it. It's like, that's $5 more than previously. And I'm okay with that, because I know that if I can get there, I can keep growing. Why magically would something just stop there? So if the rate of growth continues, surely I would still be able to actually see my minimum payout well before 20 months, because I doubt things will stay the same over the course of 2 years. So ideally, what's going to happen is that I'll hit the 1,000 subscribers, hopefully very, very soon. Like, ideally, once I start posting Pyanodon's tutorials, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, there might be a little bit of a spike in subscribers. Cough, cough. Maybe, ideally. And once I start making content from my little ebook that I am currently in the process of writing, let's not forget that I am writing my baseline guide to treating content creation as a business. Still have to think of an actual title for the thing. That's just a descriptor, not a title at this point. I have written 3,000 words for it so far. And, yeah, I feel like I've only just started on it. Remember that I have a master's degree based off of writing a master's thesis that was, I forget, I don't even know off the top of my head how many words that was. Many words, over 50 pages, double spaced. Yeah, it was long. It was long. I have a physical bound copy here somewhere. Yeah, it's in a bookcase all over yonder in my room. Um this will be presented at first as blog posts and maybe videos. So I'm thinking I will record a video presenting the content of a section and post that on YouTube and write up a blog post and have the video embedded in the blog post. And ideally, people will come, leave their thoughts on it, and I can use those thoughts when editing and expanding the content for the book. By the way, this is a content strategy. In case you were wondering, this is a content strategy to use to supplement your growth. So that is the idea here. I know a little bit, I think, after 8 years of making videos for YouTube and for streaming on Twitch. Granted, I wasn't doing that the entire time over the course of the 8 years, but you get the point. I know a little bit of something about it. May as well get that down pen to paper, as it were, and try to monetize that. Pricing will be at least $2.99, and it will be released through Kindle Direct Publishing, is what I'm thinking right now. At a anywhere between $2.99 and $9.99. The revenue split is 70% through Kindle Direct Publishing. Anything lower than $2.99, yeah, they take, like, you only see 35% at that point. Rather than 70% if you're lower than $2.99, and if you're over $9.99, same thing. This is why the majority of books available through Kindle are in that price range of $2.99 to $9.99. Just because that's the most money that the author will be able to see is on that price point. They get 70%. Minus the digital distribution fee, which is like 15 cents in the US per purchase. So it's 70% minus 15 cents. Which, yeah, that's a thing as well. So working on that. I'm going to assume that my enthusiasm for writing this book will continue over the coming months and won't wane with time. So expect that coming. Expect videos and posts on my website about it. Expect all that to be linked to on my Twitter and having discussions about it on Twitter. So yeah, with that, I think it is beyond time to actually start loading up the game. It's been 15 minutes or so. Now, as for the one thing that I wanted to mention about the game, the one little note I have before diving into today's agenda, as I had mentioned last time, the sintering units needed a change, so they were changed. The recipe for sintering units is now far more reflective of the actual point in the game that you have to use them. So it is now far more reflective of the utility science that you need to do sintering. Still questioning why sintering units are unlocked when they are, though. They should be unlocked a lot sooner. Also, in my tutorial save, I have gone through the Nextlet chain now. And I, finished the nickel chain, just doing the setup on the screen. I still have to do things like mess around with numbers of buildings for ratios and, get somewhat accurate numbers when I do my tutorial recordings. I'm going to start with iron and copper, and then probably tin, lead, titanium, chromium, aluminium, zinc, niobium, maybe niobium before zinc. That just leaves molybdenum and Nextlet. Thinking of where I should squeeze Nextlet in that. Probably before moly, definitely. Probably after niobium and before zinc. I don't know. Anyway, loading in. Let's get a bit more comfy here. So last time, I set up Molten Chromium. That was the main thing that I did, was set up Molten Chromium. It actually looks like I need additional stuff here. Oh, I'm not actually using... Oh, hey, remember what I said about backing up, ideally, on the chromium? Yeah, as it turns out, I've backed up on the chromium. Yeah, as it turns out, I have the chromium. Now, also, ideally, I'll back up on my drill heads here. Are we backed up? It may take a while, but are we? I don't think so. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, what does that ultimately mean? That means I'm going to be starving on steel very soon. I already am because I can't make any more of these guys. Do I want to throw all of my plans out the window in order to get more iron? I think I have to. And I have to move this around a bit, so at minimum I have to go down there and do that to help improve everything. Still not, backing up on my actual belt-based iron here. I'm backed up on my stainless steel. Am I backed up on molten? I am. I am backed up on molten, so what I might want to do is grab a couple Mark II casting units and upgrade these. Also, last time I went ahead and set up this glorious lard. Ha! Short on iron? You're shocked. Yeah, I am a little bit short. Well, not necessarily on iron, on steel. Steel is the main concern now. But so yeah, last time I set up this lard as well as started working a little bit on some methanol that will be used in the for acetic acid for collagen at scale. And then I decided let's go ahead and start using my tailings to get some additional Nexilate production. I ended up just setting up the Nexilate in my clean Nexilate processing. It is a significant boost doing the next step. I think it's approximately a 2x, between 2 and 3x more Nexilate plates out of doing the additional processing. So that will be most ideal. That will be the most ideal situation. Two, huh? 4. I'm processing 928. Alright. Interesting. When I did my Nexilate setup for the tutorial series, I did so assuming 1200 per second tailings in. So I didn't do it assuming a 15 per second yellow belt of raw Nexilate. I planned everything out based off of a 1200 per second tailings, which I think is far more realistic of a thing to do. Most every other ore type I've set up assuming a yellow belt in of the ore, but Nexilate, just based off of how you get it, I think was better to do off of this. So ultimately, I think it ended up being 3 per second on the raw ore that I got everything sorted around. Planned around. So the lack of steel is going to be very, very annoying, which means I need to fix that first. Just have to grab a car and get going. You have blueprints. Okay. This car apparently has blueprints. Also, I noticed that I have apparently very inadvertently been scaling up basically everything that I need to do rayon at scale. Just somehow I have managed to just start building at scale the various components needed to make lots and lots of rayon. The only other key thing that's missing from it at the moment is the carbonyl sulfide stuff, but even that, it's like I think I already have scaled up the things I need to make that too. So really, this is going to be interesting. Why do I mention rayon in particular? It's used for batteries, but it's used in biofilm. That's one that will be used in the I think it's nickel, advanced nickel, getting into high grade, and various other stuff. But it's also used in this stuff, this very important stuff known as crystallographic substrate, that I'm going to be using for vanadium and probably maybe for diamonds and probably maybe for gold. I'm thinking at least gold and vanadium at this point. But yeah, it is used in batteries. Batteries have lots of things. This is the best recipe for batteries. Rayon is also needed for fiberglass, which is used in the circuit 3s. So, going to need this for circuit 3s. That's going to be amusing. Very amusing. I came down here and I totally whiffed on bringing the actual, you know, Mark II casting units. Yeah, those things that I was supposed to take with me. That would be nice to have those. I was gonna upgrade my steel so that I can use the excess molten steel that I have, that I know I have, that's not being used to make molten stainless steel at the moment. Because remember, molten stainless steel comes from molten steel. And it's not like I'm using only excess amounts of molten steel to make the molten stainless steel. I have enough stainless steel to feed both, so that's something I will be transitioning into, because this will be the immediate solution to my current temporary problem. Then I have to go and move my mining drills for the iron over a little bit. So just driving back here to get my robots to drop off my stuff in my inventory. Here they are. Gave me the things. There should be one more coming, but... oh, there it is. There we go. There's my casting units. Someone was trying to bring me... did I just see they were trying to bring me a speed module? Well, okay. Let me have a look here. I apparently still need 303 efficiency modules and 21 speed. And I am apparently missing 4 of the charging stations. Oh, by the way, while I'm here... this has been bothering folks, I'm sure, for quite some time. But I have an independent network somewhere. There is a piece that's been disconnected / never connected in the first place. Wow, really? Now, question is, how am I going to do this? Probably have that there. And, that apparently solves it? Yeah, apparently that works. That will fix my independent network issue. Off we go. Okay. One other thing I wanted to check is... how much boric am I making? 250 per second, and it's way more than I apparently need. Can you use these? You can. But I'm not going to. for now. Just for now. It's a good thing to note. Oh, I'm going to actually need to bring... Oh, hey, I have a vehicle out there. Good. It's like, I'm gonna need a vehicle. Have I heard of any Pyanodon player launching a rocket or getting to the end of the tech tree? There was someone that posted on the forum their several thousand or whatever, they're not several thousand, they're like point something per second space science setup. For the record, you get space science not through launching rockets in this game. But there is someone who did a space science setup, but they were not playing with one of the pieces of the mod set because they had started before it released. So it wasn't a complete mod set. They posted that on the Pyanodon's forum. On the Factorio website. Where are you? There. Alright, this will ideally result in a lot more. It looks like they don't output fast enough anymore. There we go. Seriously? Well, that fixed it. I guess. So, say hello to just more steel. Now, I forget exactly how much steel I'm making. That uses 50. Should have another 25, I think, free. Power. Yeah. It's like, I should absolutely have the steel for this. Let's see, how many do I have making steel? One... Let's count. 12. I have 12 making steel. Yeah, 75 molten steel. But, yeah, in terms of people completing the game and showing that they've completed it using the entire Pi suite as currently exists, I haven't seen that yet. Oh yes, this is glorious. So very glorious. I could have a full 18.75, but it'll be limited to 15. And then excess can go into molten stainless. So there's that. Now to go grab the car and move some mining drills for the moment. Where is that car? All the way over there. All the way over yonder. Meow. Meowing in your sleep? How long until I do research again? Yeah, sometime, I would imagine, especially since I will be going down in the number of streams that I'm doing each week, starting next week. So, yeah, it's gonna be a while, before I set up production science packs, which I think is, I forget, purple science, whatever. There's only 2 more science packs to really be concerned with before space, and that's production and utility. Production science packs I could technically make now. Production science. Control units, nuclear samples, and coated containers. I think I've sort of had a look at some of this. Niobium iron alloy, which I can make just fine. /M making with lead. Sort of have 100 per second potential on the lead production at the moment. Thing is, you need diamonds. That's the primary concern, is that it's diamonds that's needed here. Everything else I'm already making. It's just you need the industrial diamonds. Which, I mean, if I'm going to make grease for other more advanced processes for ore stuff, I may as well just do the standard kimberlite chain, say screw it. Then the control units are infused inexilit, which is lithium peroxide. That's fine. Hydrogen peroxide is anthraquinone and nickel. So this will ultimately be gasoline. And then gasoline is, like, crappy, but I've got plenty of that. Saturated inexilit. Interesting. Nembit matrix, niobium titanium alloy, and inexilit matrix from the epoxy and boric acid. Collagen, our friend collagen, and epichlorohydrin. So, yeah, I can do control units. Control units will be required for, like, the big mines. The big mines. Really big mines. And then nuclear samples. Uranium ore. Straight up ore. Red science! Red science! To make purple science. Yeah. About that. And industrial solvent. Industrial solvent. I've got all this. Like, I'm pretty sure I just recently made soda ash. So organic solvent. It's like, well, I can sort of set up really, really good production of organic solvent. This is a tempting recipe, but I sort of am afraid of what goes into this Zippo blood. Phytoplankton tailings dust. Grade 110. And aren't you gonna use Zivoplood instead for vanadium? Yeah. I don't like that this uses activated carbon. I really don't. I really don't. But compared to olefins, which ultimately is Nexalit. Anyway. Time to shift some stuff. Power and power. There we go. That fixes that for now. I mean, I could just go and do what I need to do to get the production science at any point. But my current mission is getting all of the individual ores set up to do through boring as well as through more advanced processing. I want to do boring with more advanced processing, ideally to high grade versions. The current tech level, which is high grade. I could do circuit 3s as well prior to production science, but part of me wants to do production science and then do the circuit 3. Oh, hello! This is a very important vehicle. This is a very, very important vehicle. Yeah. Okay. This vehicle has some really nice stuff in it. Too bad I'm going to change vehicles now. Where is the vehicle? Oops. Oh, there's a tank. What am I carrying in that tank? Crap. Crap is what I'm carrying in the tank. Yeah. So... Collagen. At scale. That shall be the idea. Also, I sort of just want this stuff on my network rather than in my car. So please take the stuff away. Although I do want to hold on to all my beautiful things. Why am I saying bring me 90 of these? Let's just leave it at 50. So collagen will be a big pain, because that's going to take quite a bit of stuff. Also, ahem. Yeah, that's a thing. Do I care, though? I think so? I'll go ahead and I'll go over. Oh, that is non-zero cars. Hello, cars. Yeah, I think that's impacting the circuits further south, primarily, as well as potentially red science. I don't think I'm ready to not have any tin on this line, because I am also dependent on my solder. Even though it is, like, backed up. So I will go and move these mining drills for this tin. I eventually won't need it, mind you. It won't be needed forever. Okay, I guess I had needed water over there for some reason. I was doing saline. Okay, let's go and take care of this. Also, I will note that yet again with Twitch, it appears as if I am not counting as a viewer for myself when I'm usually supposed to. But anyway, or at least I have in the past. How many are here? This is 24, which is the bare minimum I need. Okay. $24 is the bare minimum necessary. Here? Yeah, I think for now it's fine to do this way, but I'll need to, like, shift over to here or something. This patch is not gonna last all that long. Oh, do I actually have enough production of stone wool? Yes. Maybe. Yes, no, maybe so. I know that this is all operational. Fully operational stone wool line. Hello, rock. While I'm out here. Oh, that is a very dead aluminium patch. That is very dead. Not good. I need an aluminium patch that can fit 60 mining drills. Well, not exactly 60, actually. It's 20% less than that. 60 by 0.8. 48. I need 48. Space for 48 on an alley patch. I don't think this is big enough. That's not that high density. This is also not that high density. Well, I'm gonna be ground boring it anyway, so it won't really matter. I think that would be the one I would go to. Yeah, I'll be ground boring it soon enough before it becomes a problem. Aluminium is not fully needed at this amount anyway. I don't know if you could tell since I've been dumping aluminium into hundreds of thousands of aluminium tiles. It's like, I wonder if I actually need my aluminium for anything. I'm just, keeping an eye on things here. Like, do I want to change this? I don't really have the room. Oh, right. I need to totally get some centrifuges going. I need to automate centrifuges. Speaking of, like, wanting to do some rayon at scale, as interesting as that sounds. Like, what? Rayon at scale? How? Yes, rayon at scale. Oh, looks like we're overflowing here. Good. To do the rayon at scale, I'm going to need fiber made from raw fiber, and fiber from raw fiber requires that I have centrifuges. Yes, kitty? You come up on the desk and you just shake, shake, shake. Thank you for all the things, buddies. Take that away. Auto-saving! Almost... Jeez, we're over 190 hours now. Almost at that 200-hour mark on a single save. This is, by the way, the longest I've played a single map. In Factorio, just flat out in Factorio, this is the most I've played a single map. Okay, how about actually getting to what I wanted to get to today? After all that tweaking and nonsense. Using tailings, making extra nexilate. So what I was going to be doing was setting up methanol at scale for acetic acid at scale for collagen at scale, but that's only one part of that collagen chain. The rest of the collagen chain is... Oh, you're not powered. How about you get powered? That would be ideal. Actually. Like, that would actually be ideal. Give you some more draw to my mushrooms. So why did I say 2 of these? Because that is a lot of organic matter, and that is a lot of nexilate. Holy crap. That would be why I didn't want to do this recipe for methanol anymore. That would be why this is not a good recipe for methanol. Okay, let me look up other means of making methanol, because that is too much nexilate. the infrastructure to get that much nextlet is shockingly huge. If I was willing to spend nichrome, that's the ultimate question here, is like, are you willing to spend nichrome? Or are you willing to spend molybdenum and vanadium? Or power for tholins? I mean, there's always this. Not like I'm using molybdenum for much anyway. What is the actual molybdenum draw on that? Am I carrying around any Mark II methanol reactors? Clearly not. So I'm not going to do this. This is way too much nextlet. Even with 4 productivity modules in here, that's still way too much nextlet for the methanol output. The organic matter is free. The nextlet also free, but much bigger of a footprint. Much bigger of a footprint. Speaking of footprint on nextlet, say hello. In case you're wondering, this is nextlet. This is nextlet. Oh, I went and I started scrolling. Oh, and then, haha, yeah, this fun. Excuse me. I said, this fun thing. This is copper. This is a fun piece that we'll be doing to do high-grade copper. Whole bunch of whatever flotation cells. Yeah. That is a lot of pipe. That is a lot of pipe. But yeah, this is the Mark I variation on nextlet processing to get to the point that I'm comfortable with nextlet processing. I could go all the way up to high-grade nextlet, or whatever the equivalent is at my current tech level. The issue is that after this last scrubber set at the end, the next step in the process involves... It basically involves a yellow belt of... Do I have a mixer on me? I do. Or is it mixer? Was it mixer? No, it wasn't mixer. It was, electrolyzer. That's what it was. This stuff. Sodium chlorate. A yellow belt of this stuff, basically. In processing just 3 items per second, initially, of the raw nextlet. So, yeah, a red belt of salt plus 450 steam per second to get sodium chlorate to process what is the output from 3 raw nextlet per second to continue down the chains. Like, that's a lot of salt. Like, that's a lot of salt needed to make sodium chlorate. That step in the chain probably needs a little bit of a reduction on the amount of sodium chlorate that it's using in the nextlet chain. It uses way too much in my opinion, and that's just off of 3 nextlit per sec, raw nextlit per second processing into upper tiers of stuff. It's insanity. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. One nen bit. So, you there. Let us decide on... Actually, A, I want to look at how much nichrome gets used. B, I want to look at how much... Collagen is in what, again? FB? No, collagen is in... agitator. I'm not carrying around any agitators, sadly. Bring me my agitators, please. Collagen, only one way of getting it in the agitator, through acetic acid, urea, skin, and steam. Skin only via Sapir rendering. Ingredient in this... blood meal. Also from this. Skin from this. Tin. Lard. I actually looked at these guys, by the way, the Kamauts. They are land shrimp. That I think is the best way of describing them. They are land-based arthropods that are big, like big arthropod things with claws and stuff like that. But I'm just going to describe them as land shrimp. The Kamauts. Still need something to do with meat. Like, I'm not currently doing anything with meat. I could just make the meat and bones into bone meal. But I think I'm still going to end up with excess meat for some reason. It's needed in myoglobin. Powdered phosphate. What? Which I'm not even... I don't have a need for myoglobin yet. And then dried meat. It can be used in cold briquettes. I guess that's a thing I can do with the meat, is make some briquettes, but I don't see the point. I really don't. I'll eventually need meat for Resilin. Still don't know what machine to craft the stupid alien bacteria in. Because we've got that stuff for alien bacteria. Made in! There, that's the machine. It's an icon. An icon for a machine in Pi Fusion. That I don't think is actually in Pi Fusion. I'm not actually making these guys either. There's totally this Aurum greenhouse thing that makes sulfur gases. I have not made this thing yet. There's a phytoplankton farm. But that wasn't the icon I saw. Actually, you know what? Do I even have... I mean, I have the recipe to do alien bacteria. See, the alien bacteria requires serine, and serine is the cumouts, the land shrimp. Yeah, I just don't know what that building is. Because I'm looking for the icon for it, and it doesn't exist. Might look it up in the code, like what the actual name of the machine is. Because if you look up the recipe for the alien bacteria one, you know how it shows that made in section? That has to be defined somewhere to pull that icon. So the name of the icon should have the name of the building, or at least something like that. Because it doesn't look like I have access to... Unless it's the artificial reef, the Zapier artificial reef that it's pulling. Is that the icon? No, that's not. That's totally different icon. So, either way, enough ranting and raving about all of that. I wanted the agitators because we're going to look at what the scale is going to be. I said, oh, we're going to do this at scale. Well, what is going to be the scale that we are going to do this at? Let's define. How big are we gonna go? Well, can't do that on the spacing. Let's keep it at 7. Oh, that's unfortunate. But will it work? Yeah, that'll be fine. I'm okay with that. So, how many agitators is that? 49. Really? 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 7 by 7. So, 49. I said we're doing this at scale, guys. So, let's be a little bit more realistic and say we're going to do this with productivity modules, which does make things a little bit better, a little bit more efficient in this way, by having it be... I think that's 16, yeah, 16% more efficient. Do not even remotely have enough efficiency modules for all of these at the moment, but that'll be a thing. So let's plan out. Do I have 20 per second on the urea? I technically do, but I need more. Actually, you know what? No, I have 60, and I'm pretty sure I'm not using... I think I have 20 free on that, because this I'm pretty sure is 60 per second in total on the urea production that I made there, so that's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm okay on how much urea I have to feed this. Skin, 98. We'll get to that. So acetic, 196. 196, and then 1960 steam. I'll ignore the steam for now, but anyways, 196 acetic. Acetic acid is made in a methanol reactor. Only one recipe. Acetic acid. So, 196. 196. I'm not carrying around any of these. Let's make sure that I carry around some of these. Oh, that is good. Excellent. Excellent opportunity here. Acetic takes in methanol. I'm targeting 196. 32 methanol reactors taking in methanol to make acetic acid, to make enough acetic acid to feed 49 of these. So there's the acetic, there's my answer. I need 160 methanol per second. So there are times where you just have to, you know, laugh it off. Oh. Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. I still want the 24% productivity in here as well. So to get 160 or 160. To get the 160, it's 8/9. So a nichrome per second. I think I can do a nichrome per second. I'll need that 9th reactor. Like, I think I'm good. Oh, please don't send them to me. Please fill these in. So there's that. So now I know that I want to target 9 methanol reactors here, making methanol from CO2 into hydrogen. And that will feed 32 of these. I will need to do this in another square. Can I fit 32 in a single square? Let's put you up there for now. Oh, this is a way. Wait, what? What? See, this is the problem, is, Pyanodon, really, why did you not make the base of this building extend the entire size of the box? The collision box, like, how was that decision made? It's like, the base of the building needs to match the collision box. It doesn't matter if you extend above with the actual pieces of the building on the sprite. It's like this extending up, that's okay, but the actual base needs to go all the way up. The actual base of the thing that needs to go all the way up. I know that will cause issues with the actual look of the sprite itself, but it's like, a fundamental flaw in the design from the beginning. Like, yeah. Fundamental oversight from the start. Where the ripple effect means having to redo the entire thing. So 6 is my answer. 6. I'm just trying to think. Do you need any? Yes, you do need a solid end, so I can't just have a gap of 1 every time. $24. 30. Remember, I only need 9 of this particular setup, but you know, may as well count with Otaku, right? Let's count. Alright, so I can fit up to 36 in a single thingy. Up to 36. Do I want to actually place down all 36 there? Probably not. But I'll manage. And then you're the one that needs 32. If you had 40, or 36, I should say, you would ultimately need 5 nichrome per second. That's a lot. So I'm not actually going to do this. Only need 9, so I don't even need these 3 for the moment. Might want to keep the 2 lines, though. Stay at 12. So, the question is now, where am I going to do this? Because I think I'm now forced to go 1 more over. Yep, I will go 1 more over with my 1x1. Bring this up. Oh. The middle was not in a good spot. Yeah, it was 1 tile. Alright. There you go. Real question is, oh god, they stole it! They stole it! Oh, I hate when they steal it. When they steal things like that. This can actually get spaced a little differently. If I really wanted, this could Nah, I mean, it's effectively the same as the other one. But I could do it a slightly different way. It's just rotated differently. See, it always is looking, like, wrong to me. Yeah, that should be fine. There we go. That, as they say, is that. That is actually 40. Or 36, I should say. 36. So I'll get a little bit more acetic acid. I am in no way concerned about the carbon dioxide requirements, nor am I even remotely concerned about the hydrogen requirements over here. I just need to pipe it up. I should have all of the niobium pipe on the planet available to me, so that is not a concern in the slightest. I do want a spot for each of these where I have them all hooked up to each other. That's in the way. Autosave, 191 hours. Yeah, that's ever so slightly in the way. That makes connecting that a little bit easier. Ideally, I wanted the hydrogen here. Actually, ideally, I wanted the CO2 here. I'm sort of encroaching now in this space. I think... yeah, this also will not work. I'll have to do this from below, which is what I was trying to avoid having to do. Okay, there is that hooked up. Next is the actual stuff here. Which, I mean, clearly that's the easiest one to do. then it's just a matter of bringing in the nichrome. Keep a decent sized buffer at all times. Oh, phooey. And that, as they say, should be that. Oh. Yeah, when I copy and paste this, it will be needing... I have to remember not to copy the thingies. Definitely want to conserve the nichrome in particular. That is the thing that needs to be conserved. So, nearest CO2. Well, I have CO2 here. Sort of goes all the way out to here, but I can't use that line. I am here. If I go down... this junction, and then over on this line right below the stuff. Yeah, right there. Here. I need to be over this way. Part of me wishes I had a little bit bigger of a buffer space. But no matter. This works. Oh, did I mess up? No. Not yet, anyway. Go, gadget. CO2. Then hydrogen. Now, hydrogen... I have some spare here. Probably not enough. Hydrogen can be made more locally. Potentially. How about having this square that I am making the methanol in have the center be occupied by electrolyzers to make the hydrogen to feed the methanol reactors. That seems like a much better plan, actually, for the hydrogen. So since I know that this is fine and fits above and can fit below, let's, like, make the center just hydrogen production. How much hydrogen is even needed? 240? That's like nothing. If I do regular water electrolysis, like 240 is within 4. What about 480? That's 7. 6, 7. And just one thing of water. Gosh, I wish... Yeah, so even the water fits just fine. That is nuts. Alright. Well then. Get all this hooked up and then brought down, I guess. And there we go. And that leaves room I can double right in here. And I will not need to change anything, actually. As for the oxygen... Oh, right, also, boop, boop, boop. Conserve power where I can. These are 900 kilowatts each. Down to 2. Down to 2. Oxygen can get vented. Gas vents. Why do I not have more gas vents? Five times 60 is 300. Yes, that's enough. Give it some power. Go up here, give these some power. There we go. Welcome, methanol at scale. If I need methanol for other things, which cough, cough, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Gonna need methanol for other things outside of acetic acid. So I will have a nice little thing here that can get copied and pasted, although bear in mind just nichrome. Nichrome will be a thing that is needed. This is just going to take forever. This is just going to be a thing that takes forever to finish building. Do you have any solid input as well? You do have chromium that you need. So, again, with the inputs here. There's all that planned out. Not carrying any chromium with me, sadly. Chromium, oh chromium. Yeah, sure, full stack. And I think once I've set this up, I will take a brief break. This needs all of the piping finished, but I think I'll go ahead and I'll take my break right now, because I know if I don't, I won't, and I'll need to, and I might be forced to, like, end the stream early or something like that, when my body says, hey, you need to do this thing right now. So I will do that, and when I come back, I will finish setting up the pipe work on the lines here, as well as start planning out what the heck we're going to do about needing skin for all of the collagen. So that is the next step, is 245 skin per second. Oh god. This I did say that this would be collagen at scale, didn't I? Right. Yeah, or no, not 248, 98. Excuse me, I clicked on a thing that didn't have stuff yet. 98 skin at scale will be what I plan out when I come back, so I will be back shortly. And I have returned. So, step 1. Finish doing the pipework, or just do the pipework, on all of this acetic acid, this glorious acetic acid. So, basically second verse, same as the first here, with this. I can pretty much just copy and paste, I think, whatever I want with the, That's annoying. That's unforeseen. An unforeseen complication has arisen. I think I'll have to shift the whole thing over 2. Yeah, I think I'll have to shift the entire thing over 2. Having all of the power poles where they are, though, is not ideal. Because I'm going to do this. Put the acetic out. Also, lots of robots on their way, bringing in full stacks. Full stacks of stuff. I went and I ended up picking up one of those. Lots and lots of acetic acid will be made. Eventually. Alright, I said I had to shift this by 2. Can I get away with 1? I really wish I didn't have to shift it at all. Now, how am I gonna, like, hook everything back up? That's a good question. I mean, really, that is a really awesome question that I don't really know the answer to at the moment, but it seems like I'm figuring it out. Slowly but surely. And then the CO2. Yeah, that would be the CO2. And that should actually be aligned such that I can just go to there and be fully hooked up to the CO2. Then it's all about getting the methanol in. AKA figuring out how the heck I'm gonna get over here. Like this. Oh, hello. You are sorta in my way. Oh, that's CO2, not, Done. It's ugly, but it's done. So that's all the methanol in. Wait, that's not the methanol in? Oh, I was off. I was off kilter. Yes, that should be everything. Just add power. And lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of modules. Power plus all the modules. All of the modules on the planet. Every single module must be obtained. Excuse me, but I would prefer that being a thing. Thank you for that stuff, and there. So, acetic acid. Pipes. There we go. That is the acetic acid. The next phase would be getting the acetic acid into this. May as well, right? can't believe I'm doing this to collagen. I have feared collagen for so long. I have always not wanted to make collagen, or always thought that, hey, whatever we do with collagen is going to be really small scale, or relatively small scale. Oh boy, yep. We're doing it. We're doing it because I have to do it, basically. By the way, 18.19 per second. I just want to point out something here. We're using this collagen for drilling fluid 2 and 3. 2 and 3. How much collagen is needed on 300 drilling fluid? So each thing of drilling fluid 2 that I mine, well, it's 3 per second. Meaning one of these can feed a lot of those. And here it's 1.5 for a 150 on drilling fluid 3. And I think that's all that's necessary. So drilling fluid 3 is used in, I think it's niobium, as well as definitely for molybdenum. Moly! Beautiful, glorious moly ore in-ground boring. Note, I am still using my mod that makes it lubricant, but it is the same amount of lubricant on the output. So, yeah, it's less than 150 on the moly to get more than a yellow belt's output from ground boring the moly. And then the niobium, which I think is the other one, it's 6 borers for 15 on the niobium, 300. Alright, 300 per second. Well, 300 per second, we're back. It's the same, it's 3. Plus chromium, plus guargum, and lots and lots and lots and lots of salt. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, so much salt. Especially thinking about other, like, Nextlit processes that use salt. Nextlit using salt for stuff and things. Yeah, let's... Oh, I said let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that as well. Give my Constructobots something to do. So that is the main acetic. Now I have to figure out / decide, well, how am I going to get the acetic in? Well, as it turns out, the way that I've done this makes it a lot easier. Makes it quite simple, really. With the exception of here. Why is there always an exception? Why is there always an exception? Why? Why you do this to me? And it's the same issue on the top side, by the way. Hold up. Can I not just do that? Like, across the board? Like, really? No, I'm not going to do this across the board. For one key reason. Oh. Yeah, this steam pipe's not going to be fun either. So I'm gonna have steam pipe here anyway, so having that there is fine. Of course, this will remain a thing. yeah, then that becomes blocked. Joy! Alright, back to our original situation. This is blocked fully. I think I'm just deleting these. I think I'm just deleting that there and just know that I have to change it. Actually, I don't know why I just don't have these in line. Actually, I know exactly why I don't have these in line. It's because they're not symmetric. They're not a 4x4. If they were a 4x4, I would be very happy having these in line, or if they were a 2x2, I would be very happy with having these in line, but not as it currently stands. Steam will also be a niggling issue. But because I've moved these, it's not as much of an issue anymore. I'm just doing the initial placements here for the steam. May as well get the pipe work done. Steam, of course, will need to be done elsewhere, especially at the amounts of steam that is going to be needed here. 1,960, this will be 2 separate pipe lines, minimum, for steam. I think I'll leave it as this for now. Okay. Also just want to make sure that... Looks like I'll use a stack inserter for this. Auto-saving. So skin. .98 skin per second. Oh boy. Bring me my reefs. Bring me all of my reefs. Every single one of them. While I finish up these pipes. That's actually not very nice. Yeah, getting the thingies in is going to be a little bit harder than I anticipated. I'll have to use long-handed inserters there. Because I'm thinking about the chests, the requester chests, and the provider chests. That is a thing. Because everywhere else it's fine, but here I might have to lower the acetic. Because we've got an in and an out. Right? But the individual amount in, the throughput in with the stuff here, we've got 2.4. think red inserter's okay on 2.4 on the input and output. I'm totally gonna shift right click on one of those and then left click there. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do the higher amounts of a regular one. Oh, yeah, just okay. So you're gonna die regardless. No more charging station there ever. Oh, I have a gap of 2 everywhere. Okay. Everywhere but here. In this spot. Alright. Sure. That's how I did it. Okay. Fine. I will... That's good. And then here, of course, again, with a difference. There we go. Just add power and all that other good stuff. I do have some skin, nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. At all. Although technically, we can start moving. I'll power some of it. Ideally, some of it that has productivity modules built in already. Skin. Place down this 2x2. Looks like I lost a RoboPort there, that's fine. And you know what? I'll go ahead and place the 2x2 here as well. Remember what I said about stuff encroaching. So, wonderful 2x2s filling out the rest of the area. Wait, why didn't you place that? Like, excuse me? Nanobots, do your job. Nanobots, you have a job to do. Also, you have a job to do. My bros. get these going for me. So we have to do the reefs and we have to do the rendering. Remember that the rendering is separate entirely. It is completely separate from the reefs. So, the reefs. They're big. They consume stone wool. And they consume... I want to align top left, though. There. That works. Okay. Zip your carcass. Only one method. One. One and only. Oh, foggy substrate. Oh, joy. Oh, joy. Oh, and that's for 16. Okay. Alright. Let's plop down one of these beauties. And bring up Zapier rendering, wherever the heck that is. Here. So. Thank you, God. At least a minimum amount of productivity here. So, 90... what? What was it? 90... What was it again that I'm targeting on the skin? Oh boy. Oh, wait, what? Why did it go down to 1? 49. 98. 98 flat is the target for skin. Oh joy. Oh bliss. I don't want to, like, think about how much space is going to be used for the salt water for this. Oh, man. Okay, 98 flat. 70. 70 with some minor amounts of productivity in it. I just have to, like, bask in the fact that with time, with better productivity modules, it will be easier. Hello, kitty. Oh gosh, it's already almost 10 after... 10 after the noon. 10 after the noon. And then this is on top of... It's like, okay, I'll have that much skin, but I'll also have that much meat to void and bones to void in some way. Like, I can... I need to have those... Like, all of this is in filter inserters, filtering out into active provider chests that go to other things, including voiding of the meat and the bones. Like, the meat and the bones, I'll do what I can to make blood, blah, whatever, bone meal out of it. The blood can go into blood meal, though for the moment needs to be voided. I mean, we're talking close to 400 units per second on blood alone. Like, okay. So 6.12. Speaking of which, yes. It's 4%, but at values this high. Oh. Well then. $6.12. 184. Yes, blood for the blood god. Absolutely. Lots of blood for the blood god. 184. This may be one of those circumstances where I am very much interested in using speed modules. To cut it by 28%. Yeah, 153 is a little bit better than 184, but still, 153? Maybe I should make a 4x4. 153. And it's annoying to tile. And it's very annoying to tile. You need 3. Because otherwise it... Alright, fine. You can have a gap. Oh my god, that is very annoying. No. Gap 3. I want my saline on the bottom. How did I do it here? Are you gap 3? You are gap 2 and don't have anything there. Right. That is another option. Okay, so gap 2. Let's determine how many of these 2x2 squares I'm going to need. Then determine how much of this stuff I'm going to need. I'm already looking at that saline water count and crying. I am crying at that saline water count. Because that means I have to bring 2 separate lines of saline water in, and getting that much saline water will need 4 setups of processing of of this, like four of this, right? Yeah, between the quenching towers, making saline as best it can with productivity out of tar, out of making tar out of coal. I mean, on an alternative of tar is making it out of stone, but it's a lot of iron to do that, and it has a lot of byproducts that I don't immediately have anything to do with. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Keep those, please, and request for me a DDC2. I know I've already looked at this at one point, but, and realized that it would be a really big footprint to do. But just the concept of iron to salt water is interesting, and I want to at least attempt to check it out. So that's 9. This would complicate things. Or will it? Will it really complicate things? Sort of? No. Lines are going to be separate anyway, even on the pressured water. So I think it's actually okay to do this rotation and to have the one gap as well. It is perfectly fine, actually, to have the one gap. Yeah, this will work. My concern, though, is right here. This is one concern of mine. Whew, okay. How many is this? 90! You know, even without the speed modules, wasn't that like 184 or something? So, by the way, the answer is 2. Two 2x2s. Oh boy. Yeah, you aren't gonna be there. So, this times 2. And let's see if I can actually redo the alignment to not have... Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna have issues with the roboports, too. Maybe. I think I need to review the alignment. Okay, so either way... Yes, either way I'm gonna have trouble with a roboport. At minimum. Oh hey, ran out of power in my batteries. Oh hey, why don't I just get more... Wait, why have you not finished bringing me these? Bring me these, please, dudes. Bros. Where are my bros? Like, bring me these, please. I need to do science. On what the footprint looks like there. Really, where are they? Don't know. And it's already... Oh, there they are. There's one. That's all I really need, but... What was I gonna request? See, it's already like slipped my mind what I was going to do the request for there. Yeah, fully gone from my mind now. Like, what was I gonna request and why was I running down here? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Sand extractor. Mark II, please. I should have those. So the alternative method of getting tar... Oh, hello. That is a lot of tar. Tar, coarse fraction, tailings dust. That is a pretty good amount of tar, actually. I think that gives me enough saline. Oh, I'm thinking about it. I think that gives enough saline all by itself. Because the saline here, it's about 464 out from 320. So at 1500, that's a lot. I needed like just over 1200. So yeah, and since it's more than 1-to-1, that would give me enough saline by itself. The issue, of course, being like, hey, that's 150 stone per second. What does it take to get the 150 stone per second to feed into this method of getting tar? Well, I'm glad you asked. 150 stone is 38 sand extractors, or 60.8 iron sticks per second. I'm pretty sure I did that too. So 150 is 81 sand extractor Mark IIs and 51.84 iron sticks. That is half that, so a little over, like just under 26 iron plates per second. A little under 26 iron plates per second to feed into 1500 tar per second, as well as 60 tailings dust and 45 coarse fraction. Now, would that be worth doing? Yeah, if I had the plates to spare. Like, if I actually had the plates to spare, or am producing that many plates, yeah, maybe. The alternative, of course, is ground boring for stone. Because ground boring for stone is another thing that you can do. Again, however, it's this times 3, so 12 of these to get the amount of stone necessary. That is 5 per second on the drill heads, which is not insignificant for reference. 5 per second on drill heads, which I will show you to get 5 per second on drill heads. Is, let's see, 7.5 over 6 times 5. 6.25 per second on the iron plates. 10 on the steel. And 3.75 on the chromium. To get iron, to get stone. Like, just for stone. Exclusively just to get stone. To turn into tar. So you're doing 6.25 iron, 10 steel per second. I just want to throw that out there. 10 steel. So in terms of the iron requirement here, just comparing 26 versus 10 steel, which I could consider as twice an iron. Well, there's 20 6 right there, 26 there versus less than 26 here, plus 500 lubricant and 500 coal gas. Which, guess how you're getting lubricant? Via tar. So this is why I've not liked this recipe for stone, to get tar from stone, because at first glance it's like, yeah, that is a lot of tar for not a lot of buildings, but when you think about the stuff to throw at it, it's a lot. To throw at it, to do it renewably, like just renewably, it's quite a bit. That is a really big salt patch. That is a really big salt patch. That has caught my attention. But I need to resist. I need to resist the temptation of the salt patch. Because we are... the idea is to build without relying on patches that aren't going to last forever. This is the renewable Pyanodons. That's what we're playing. Everything renewable that can be gotten renewably. So this is why I prefer this method of getting tar, because even though it doesn't give the most tar, doing this method of getting tar from essentially mushrooms to coal, and coal to coal gas, and coke into coal gas. Hey, Pyanodon. Nice to see ya. I am just deliberating on what I'm going to do about saline water. Because... Oh, you said you see the issue with the mod conflict I talked about, found nothing in your mods? Well, yeah, it's just weird that the pump jack is crashing the actual craft time mod. It's I thought it was weird that it was doing that. I don't know what in the crafting time mod is causing the issue, but anyway. It's just a thing. I don't have any intention on actually using your pump jacks. Just gonna throw that out there. Well, it's an error in actual craft time that crashes. So it's an error when accessing that specific building's recipes. It just can't... I don't know, I think it can't handle crude oil for some reason in that way. There's just something in the pump jacks that it just doesn't like it. So I mean, it's fine by me to not use the pump jacks. I mean, I am personally okay not using the pump jacks. There are alternative ways of getting infinite crude than using the drilling fluid. On pump jacks. But anyway, so Pyanodon, my current plans and schemes involve getting all of the collagen. So the pump jacks, currently you can choose your recipe as to whether or not you want to get natural gas or crude. It is just a recipe. But once I assign a crude oil recipe onto the pump jack, and it attempts to pull in the recipe information. When you click away and click back onto it, it throws a nil on the crude oil product of the pump jack. OMG, that's a lot of collagen. Yes! Yes, this is a lot of collagen. I know this is a lot of collagen. I'm trying to get a lot of collagen, because I don't know if you noticed, but the amount of collagen needed for drilling fluid 2 and 3 is not insignificant. Just for reference, drilling fluid 2 and 3, so no, I need saline water because I need the saline water to feed the collagen. So I'm not going to frack saline water. No, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Drilling fluid 2 for ground boring of resources. 300 is a pretty standard number on the majority of the ground boring recipes to get a yellow belt output of ore types across the board. Most everything that needs drilling fluid 2 to get a full yellow belt output of it requires about 300. Like, that just seems like the standard value. So that alone is 3 collagen per second. That alone is 3 collagen per second. Yeah, 300 is a lot because when you did the replacement of lubricant to drilling fluid, you didn't adjust any values in there. So there's things that was taking 300 lubricant per second that is now taking 300 drilling fluid per second. And it's like that across the board. Just for reference, the drilling fluid 1, 2, and 3 requirements is a fair bit, and it's requiring a lot of collagen. So you have to think, well, 300 collagen, how many ore types do you have? Isn't niobium the one that's drilling fluid 3, along with molybdenum? Yeah, you have 2 things that are drilling fluid 3. Like 6 or so. No, at least like 5, I think, use drilling fluid 2. Let me bring up the ground borer, even though everything's gonna say lubricant. So drilling fluid 2 is aluminium, chromium, nexolite, nickel, and zinc. Aluminium, chromium, nexolite, nickel, zinc. I think that's it. The niobium and the molybdenum. So there's 5 things on 2. There's 2 things on 3, which is the niobium and the molybdenum. And then the tin, the titanium, the lead, and the iron, and the borax are all drilling fluid 1. And the quartz, I forget the quartz. Is the quartz still lubricant? There's something that's still lubricant. I think quartz is still lubricant, as well as limestone and stone. But when looking at the values here to do yellow belts, alright, well, we've got 200 drilling fluid 1 for titanium. Alright, 200 drilling fluid 1 for the yellow belt of titanium. We've got, for tin, 300 drilling fluid 1 on tin. So 300 on tin per second. Like, 10. We've got, for nickel, 300 drilling fluid 2 for nickel. I don't really see a reason to do nextlet, honestly, anymore, but just for reference, it's for the yellow belt on the nextlet, it's another 300 per second. The iron is 250 on the iron for drilling fluid 1. For the lead is actually decent at 150. Like, the lead, this is honestly closer to the levels I'm expecting for the lead. But chromium, you look at chromium, 300 for chromium, 300 on aluminium, 250 on zinc. All these are drilling fluid 2s, all 3 of those. And then I said nextlet was closer to 300, and nickel is like 300. So, majority of your drilling fluid 2s are requiring 300. Ahem. Ahem. You were saying about killing whales. This would be 180. 180. of the artificial reefs, of the zippiers. 180 is what it takes. With speed modules that I have. To feed, you know, I've got productivity in here, by the way. Productivity, it's 18. 18 per second of collagen. So to feed the one grid square, the 1x1 grid square, this is the acetic acid, by the way, from methanol. Methanol to acetic acid. I ended up choosing the nichrome, by the way. The nichrome method of methanol in the end. I hate that it's nichrome, but this is like the easiest way that I can tell to get methanol is through this way to convert into acetic acid. So 18.19 collagen. By the way, I have the urea. I have like 60 total per second on a urea production facility. So I've got the acetic, I've got the urea. Steam you can just get anytime, anywhere. Skin, though, 98 per second skin is what I'm targeting here. So 98 per second skin. Okay, 98 per second skin. Zip here processing. Let me bring this up again. What friggin' thing was it under again? Here. So, zip here processing to get 98 per second. Did I do this as well? I think I did. Yes, so 98 per second skin minimum will require 70 factory 2s. 70 factory 2s. Oh, and actually, no, you don't need faster bots, you just need bigger buffers. You just request more to shove additional robots onto the line. It's a numbers game. Oh, hello. I have 12,651 logistic bots at the moment, of which about 2 grand of them are actively being used all the time. So, 70 factories to do the processing. I needed 6.12 carcasses. So, Pyanodon, my question to you would be, is it intentional that 6 zippiers is 153 reefs with speed module ones? In the alternative, it's, 180 for 6 flat. And I need 6.12, so it's 184 without any modules. It's over 200 when using a productivity module in here. So yeah, maybe think about the output or like add more than just one recipe. Or, you know, have a way of, well, you're doing this anyway with PyAL, but have more than one way to get skin. Like, I've been reading the Alien Life Code. I know that your slaughterhouses that you've set up will have the ability to render individual pieces, so that I am really looking forward to. That will be the way to get skin, but in the interim, there's only one way to get skin, and it's through full rendering and assembling plants of the Zipier, which have very, 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 very low output per building at the moment. So when you're talking on the scale of over 150, I have exactly 180 of these reefs with speed modules on request. Like, I'm gonna have all of the wastewater I could ever desire out of this. B, my concern is feeding the saline water right now, but I also need to be concerned about stone wool. I have zero concern about the substrate. Let's just make that clear. I am not concerned whatsoever about the substrate. I have to design a stone wool at scale, and I have to design some saline at scale. Pressured water is free, but anyway. Yeah, free ammonia. Free ammonia from wastewater. Or, you know, free, I think... Oh, hey, look, it's methanol. Free tailings as well, but you have to spend pure sand out of it. Can use it for logs, I guess, or urea. I mean, that is something to be said, is you can feed back... You can get urea into this, and the urea can get fed into the collagen. You could use some of the urea from the Zipier stuff to feed into the collagen, but just like offsetting the amount really that you need in the collagen. So yeah, skin. That's like the main concern here. So here I am having to sit and wait while I build all of these buildings. So yeah, I would say maybe reconsider 0.03 as your standard output on a Zipier carcass. Maybe reconsider. Just maybe. I mean, I'm going to do this anyway. Like, this is going to be a thing that happens. Like, either way, this will happen. I just need to think about how many of this I need. Because it's not like I don't have the ability to make the saline water. Like, really, to get the 1200 some odd saline water I need, that is... God, let's see, 3 2x2s of Faugi with 3 of this going into 4 quenching towers rather than into gasifiers. So instead of having this here, it would be like 4 quenching towers. Now, my question to myself is... So, this times 4 is 168. which is actually a little bit more than what I need to feed 60 per second of output on these. Oh, I put speed modules in these. Ha 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 ha! Oh, yeah, I'm glad I thought ahead about that. So, chances are I don't need another thingy here. Another square of making coal. I've all the coal I could ever desire. But, yeah, I do need something to do with tar. So, I need this copied and pasted in other things 3 times, and I'm fine with saline. So saline is not my concern, but my concern is why should I even target like 18 some odd percent, like 49 agitators worth of collagen to get what I need? I mean, to do that now is what I'm thinking, is like, because it's just a lot to get even a yellow belt of output of ground boring on the drilling fluid. So I would think a little bit about what the amounts are on the drilling fluid requirements on the ground boring, because of the collagen expense, but also think about the output on the zip ears. Actually, you can like keep this, the 0.03. Just, you can keep that recipe, but add, like everything else, just add better recipes. Just get beacons with speed 3s. Well, here's the problem with this point in the game, is I don't have beacons. Beacons are a production science. The beautiful bacon is production science, for 1, and for 2, module versions 2 and 3 require circuit 3s. Both of which I could do now, but I wanted to improve my ore production, man. I wanted my ore production improved. Can I not just get my ore production improved? I want my ore production improved. Like, that's what I want. I want more better ore production. You know, I want my high grade stuff. I want my high grade stuff. I want... Oh yeah, that reminds me. This should be back again on the full throughput. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, Pyanodon. I have been looking at all the various higher end sections of the chains. I'm gonna need a lot of flotation cells and a lot of leaching stations. I foresee that being a thing in my future. Going into the next step to get up to high grade on a lot of stuff. It's like, high grade is the big final complexity element in a lot of the chains, but then you do reduced. It's just high grade and reduced. It's one step, one machine across the board to do the reduced, and then one step to do the sintered as well. So then sintered, like, reduced into sintered, that most of the time it's no point to do anything with the reduced, because by the time you get access to the reduced, you also get access to the sintered. So it's like, well, okay, let's do this one after the other, and it's like triple the output of the previous method of high grade for most of it. I think some things are like 2 to 3x improvement over high grade, and high grade is usually between a 1.5 and a 2x over what came before. At least from what I've been doing on... So I've looked at iron, copper, nickel, and nexalate thus far, is what I've looked at. Those are the 4 that I've set up on my tutorial save, or what I plan on using for my tutorials. And, oh, I will reiterate. No, not glass yet. I will reiterate a point that I made a little bit earlier while you're here. So, nexalate refining. There is a step that needs sodium chlorate. There is a step that needs 15 per second sodium chlorate. Refining from 3 raw nexalate per second. If I had 15 per second raw nexalate in... 75. 75. It's a little much. It's a little much on the sodium chlorate. 75 on a yellow belt of raw nexalate times 2, 150 salt per second. It's a little much. I'm glad I'm doing this to make these tutorials, because it's bringing out some of these imbalances, I think. Yeah, it's the step right after the first scrubber step. I've got this blueprint. Again, I will reiterate, I planned out the nexalate for 3 raw input per second. So I want to point out 3 raw per second using Mark 1 buildings. Getting into this step with scrubbers. That's a lot of scrubbers, for one. Like, 16 to make sure that I get all of the, like, feedback stuff to cover everything. But it's the next step after this. It is the one right after the fine powder into pulp 1. So it is the pulp 1 that needs sodium chlorate in the centrifugal pan. I don't have nexalate processing 3, so I don't have access to the pulp 1 recipe yet, but pulp 1 sodium chloride amounts, it's a lot. It is significant. Very significant in the amounts. Oh, I just broke a thing. Good thing I noticed I broke the thing. So, yeah. How about I keep setting up my 2x2s here, because I'm thinking I'm going to need a few of these. I'm going to need a few of these 2x2s. Just for reference, I think I'm gonna need some of these. Alright, come on, place the stuff. Thank you. In fact, I think I'm gonna place 3 of these. Looks like I did not yet. Yeah, let's not place one of those. Thanks. Let's get the poles placed. That would be ideal. The robots, construction bots will come in and build all this out for me. I'm not concerned about that. What I am concerned about, though, is getting rid of all of this stone that is in my way. I hate the volcanic zone and all of its rocks. I like this purple, though. It's a pretty purple, but all this stone is in my way. So in these... Actually, I think I'll go one more out because I do need a thingy for the actual Zapier processing. At least one. Or I may go above. I might go above and do that. But I need lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Faugi. Lots of mushrooms. Time for mushrooms. In fact, I think I want to maybe design the full 2x2 for mushrooms. Because I have the 1x1 times 4 that I can just copy and paste and know that that's over 160. But let's see about making better use of space. Maybe. Come on. Yep. Place the thing. Thank you. In the alternative, I can just do... Or did I not do a blueprint of that already? No. No, I did not. That's sad. Anyway, grab all of that. Prefer without the charging station, but that's fine. Autosave is autosaving. Alright, if I do this here. If I did this here. I'm not concerned about having enough of these. My concern is how much water gets used and all that. Yeah, so you see I will end up with a lot of extra ooh, that's... Now that is tempting. Sharing chests. Let's not share chests. Wrong button there. Alright, that will do. For now. 184 mushrooms. There's a little bit of a space left. I can use that for other stuff. Buffer, space, whatever. Just copy paste. I think we're good. Am I good? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, this times 3. Oh, I lost my light. I lost my light. Is that how I placed it? Yes, it is. That is right there. 5. So it's... My landmark actually is that it's right on the edges of the 2 middle roboports. So right the corners of the 2 middle roboports. By the way, did I do that? Yeah, let's make that into the blueprint library. Yeah, so mushrooms. Mushrooms are a thing. And we have reached the end of the stream for today, sadly. That will have to be the end of it after discussing various things. Oh, I guess I did that, right? Yeah, I did that. All the collagen. That's the plan, right? All the collagen. All of it. All the collagen is what's being worked on. So all those mushrooms, I will reiterate, all of these mushrooms exist. Oh, right. I have to... Roboport. 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 Yeah, that'd be handy. They exist so that I can have enough coal to produce enough tar to produce enough saline water to feed enough zipiers to feed enough skin production to feed enough collagen to produce 18.19 per second collagen. That is the plan. What got done today overall was, well, this. Right up here. We've got methanol being produced out of nichrome, hydrogen, and CO2. With some hydrogen being produced there. I've got 49 agitators in my little block to produce collagen, all ready to go. Just add steam and stuff. Got acetic acid being produced out of a lot of Mark II methanol reactors with a lot of productivity modules, which, by the way, thank you so much, TierSif, for having the mod that changes the amounts of module slots that buildings have. Making very great use of that. Otherwise, this would have to be a bit bigger than what it is now. Producing enough acetic acid to feed all of this, and then working towards getting enough reefs. Yeah, reefs. Glorious reefs. All of them. All of them. And then we'll see how 70 of these guys, 70 Mark II factories look like. I have to figure out a space for that, because it needs 70 to process the zipiers. into the amount of skin that I need, and then I have to figure out what the hell am I going to do with all that bones, meat, and blood that will be spare after all of that. And then out here, a whole bunch of mushrooms to help provide enough saline water for this. I also need to come up with a space where I will be placing down a whole bunch of pressured water to production to feed all this as well as stone wool production, as well as even more mushrooms. I actually forgot I need to add probably a 4th area of mushrooms so that I can make enough substrate. I want to devote a big thing to producing Falgi substrate, because that's another thing that they need, is Falgi substrate. So a lot of this will happen next time, of course limited by my ability to actually automate the production of the Zapier artificial reefs at the moment. We've got some, but nowhere near all. Maybe there will be some rebalancing of this. Cough, cough, wheeze, wheeze, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to Pyanodon to maybe think about rebalancing this and just collagen in general and its use specifically in drilling fluids. I mean, I'm perfectly alright with the amounts of drilling fluids needed to do ground boring if it didn't use so much collagen each. Like, just a reduction in the amount of collagen used in the mixers for the drilling fluids would help dramatically in terms of the amount of necessary space for stuff. Then again, I'm still going to do this at this scale so that I don't have to do it again for a long time, because I just know that at some point I might want double or triple or something of any one ore type, and yeah, that'll be a thing when that happens. Anyway, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat, and if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and if you are so inclined, head on over to twitch.tv/OtakuShowboat to leave a follow, and turn on notifications to be reminded when I go live Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to approximately 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And don't forget to answer the question of the day, which is, what was the first video game you have ever played? What is the first? Mine was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. Again, thank you all. I hope the coming change to the schedule will actually help to bring about further growth with what I will be doing during the time that I will not be streaming. So I hope to see you all on Sunday for the start of our new reduced schedule, and at some point next week also the beginning of our Pyanodon tutorials. Hope to see you all then.